It was a crazy week for AMD. We've had new products, we had new software solutions, we had an interview with Lisa Su, the AMD CEO. We've unfortunately had some competitive landscape increase and some other things that I think all AMD stock investors should know. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so for those that are here, this is going to be the second episode of a weekly AMD. I did one last week where I took a closer look at everything impacting the overall market, and you guys recommended I do another one, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Now, I know today's episode is coming out a bit late. I've been pretty busy. I was at a family getaway, but I haven't missed an episode in the past 3 months. So I'm up late right now trying to get this episode. I can't miss a day. I'm on that grind to 85,000 subs by the end of this year. So let's start off with AMD stock. In the past 5 days, it was pretty much a flattish week. The stock was down roughly 1.4%, sitting at $157 right now. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is ROCm 7. For those that are not familiar with ROCm 7, this is kind of the competitive landscape to CUDA. ROCm 7 continues to innovate, and one of the things AMD really is focusing this year is on their software innovation. So ROCm 7 is coming in, and they share a lot of great tech blogs in it. So make sure to check it out if you are a heavy techie. I just want to kind of landscape or share the top level overview of what this brings. And they had a quick summary here. So ROCm 7 is far more than just a version bump. It's a major leap forward for AI on AMD GPUs and across the broader AI framework ecosystem, with hardware enablement for Instinct MI350 and MI355X at its foundation. So first, we can see that it's integrating in AMD's new AI GPUs, the 350 series, which includes the 350 and the 355X. Outside of that, this release is also bringing new form of precision formats available. This is, again, mainly because of the MI350 architecture, but you see FP4, FP6, and FP8 precision formats happening here in the AI market. Outside of that, ROCm 7 ensures developers can work seamlessly with the tools they already rely on while gaining faster training, lower latency inference, and higher efficiency at every scale. I don't think this is anything completely revolutionary in the short term of things. I think as an AMD investor, you see this as a long-term bullish thesis that, look, this is a company that continues to innovate in their software push, is trying their hardest to narrow that gap between NVIDIA's CUDA and their ROCm platform. And they're in the right direction, right? So that's how you should see this news. This is not something that should be like, oh, this should have driven the stock price up this week or next week or not. Theoretically, the market moves on anything. This is more of that long-term thesis, and we want to continue to see these updates very often on the ROCm platform. Now, the other thing I want to take a closer look at is AMD CEO Lisa Su was at an interview. And I would definitely recommend this interview. It's only 15 minutes long. I thought the questions there were great. If you are a heavy AMD investor, if you know probably 90% of everything AMD discusses, I would say this interview doesn't have much more to add. It's more just re-listening to what we already heard. If you are new to AMD, if you're still trying to learn where the AI ecosystem is going, definitely check it out. I mean, Lisa Su talks about where the market is right now, what she's excited about the AI space. Too long to watch is the healthcare industry. But regardless, 15 minutes can let you know a little bit more about the overall AI market and where we're going. If there's one thing I would say was crucial about that interview, is Lisa Su says that we are in a massive 10-year AI boom. And right now we're only in the second year or so of it. So this should be seen as very bullish for the AI landscape. We're in the early innings. AI market is going to continue to invest in dramatically because just the innovations coming from the AI solutions. And even if AMD might not be winning right now, there's still plenty of time. And with the release of the MI400 and everything from there on, there's still time to grow in this revenue space and to continue to grow heavy revenue growth in the AI market. Some other thing I want to mention here is obviously this should be seen bullish, right? Massive 10 years, but I just want to remind investors that things don't usually go up on a straight line. So it's not a bearish thesis. It's more of like, hey, be prepared. There could be cycles within there. There could be a year or two where things may look a little iffy. But again, this should go back for that long-term thesis. I'm a long-term holder of AMD. I'm making sure I want to hold on for the next 5 to 10 years. What is that bullish scenario there? From Lisa Su, that bullish scenario is that this is still a massive, massive boom in the AI market. Now, there were some other updates that AMD showcased in their overall blogs. AMD has this new type of AI models, and they call it AMD hybrid LMs. These overall models are models that AMD kind of redesigned using here they talk about a family of hybrid language models that are directly composed from existing retrained transformers without full retraining. And this AMD hybrid blends have two unique components, multi-latent attention and Mamba. Together, these building blocks, along with their initialization and distillation strategy, allows AMD to dramatically reduce memory usage and inference cost without sacrificing performance. And here they kind of showcase the overall accuracy of these versus their hybrid language models. You can see Llama 3. You also see the KV cache and the overall inference. Higher inference is better. It means tokens are cheaper. Again, this is not something that should be bullish right now. AMD is producing or making their own models. All the AI players are doing that. What this should showcase is AMD is continuing to innovate in the AI market, right? That long-term thesis that they're not lagging or they're not staying put with AI innovations. They're making sure to do their own unique things and to showcase their own research and development in their own way. So that's how I think you should see. Again, not short-term price reaction, more just long-term thesis and saying, look, they're innovating within the software space. Now, forms of a new product. There was a new product that they introduced. They introduced the embedded 4005 processor, which is based on their EPYC AI, which is their server CPU market for low latency applications at the edge. So this is bringing their CPU for more real-time compute performance-based products, which are usually embedded products. This is a great product, and we know that AMD is trying to, the embedded market is crucial for AMD via its acquisition of Xilinx. This is just them. It's not going to be a product that's going to grow dramatic revenue growth, but it's just on that long-term bullish thesis. AMD continues to innovate in the embedded market. And this is a market that eventually will also start to get driven by AI. So make sure to have products there, make sure to have a good customer base there, because once the AI ecosystem starts to really enter into the edge, into a lot of these real-time compute performance products, then you already have that list and that confidence from those customers. And you can say, look, if you want to have some form of AI solution, make sure to come with us. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the competitive landscape. And I did a video on this yesterday and 2 days ago, so I'm going to cover it really short. Intel and NVIDIA are teaming up. They're teaming up for two reasons. The first reason is creating AI servers and AI GPUs that can connect very greatly instead of your typical PCI Express connectivity solution, but using NVIDIA's NVLink to have a CPU in the x86 and an AI accelerator connect very, very quickly. This is great for scaling out. Now, NVIDIA didn't have anything like this before because they've only worked on the ARM architecture. They needed an x86 solution, and that's why they're teaming up with Intel. AMD obviously has x86 server CPUs. Obviously, they have AI accelerators. Obviously, they have their own connectivity solution as well. So this is definitely a bit of a competitive story for AMD. The second product was NVIDIA and Intel are partnering up to kind of create more APU solutions for the consumer space. So a way of adding a CPU and a GPU chiplet on top of each other, or makes it a lot cheaper than your traditional heavy discrete laptops and heavy discrete products. This is a market AMD has been dominating, right? They have their AI Max Plus that they just announced. This is, they showcase some massive products and they destroy Intel in this landscape. They destroy it dramatically in a lot of solutions. Here we can see rendering the Ryzen AI Max plus 395 versus the Core Ultra. Here we can see frames per second on the on 1080p. AMD's APU in this space dramatically outperforms Intel's solution. Now, Intel needed help here, and that's where this partnership came with NVIDIA. NVIDIA will be able to provide chiplets, and Intel will be providing the CPU. So we don't have a timeline on this news right now. And this is a market that AMD has a bit of a lead in. And we can see it, especially here in the consumer side, a market that's definitely benefiting from this already. The great thing is, in the short term, there is no timeline. In the long term, obviously, you should put it as a competitive thought and don't let it slip by. But AMD is innovating in this space, and you want to make sure that they continue to innovate. Now, the next thing that we saw was Oracle. There were reports, I think Friday after the market closed, that Oracle eyes a 20 billion AI cloud computing deal with Meta. Now, this isn't 100% bullish for AMD, as we do know that Oracle and Meta use NVIDIA, right? We had the kind of the interview where Oracle's main shareholder has dinner with Jensen Huang to buy more chips, right? So Oracle is a big purchaser of NVIDIA, but they are the ones that are going to build one of the biggest AMD's MI355 data centers as well. So, and Meta is also a partner of AMD. So Oracle is a partner of AMD, Meta is a partner with AMD. I believe most of this $20 billion is going to go to NVIDIA or for NVIDIA-based data centers, but it's not impossible for you to think that AMD can also get some of that money or some of that compute power as well. Now, I do want to talk about, and I did a recent video, and someone posted this. Tony C, bro, I'm not here trying to attack, I'm here trying to learn. Tony C mentioned AMD's is Oracle's primary partner. Therefore, AMD will benefit from Oracle's success. I want to say this is wrong. Oracle, it's wrong because you have the names mixed up a little bit. Oracle is AMD's primary partner. What does that mean? That means that AMD's sells the most chips to Oracle, and I think we can all agree because Oracle has the biggest AMD data centers compared to any other AMD customer. But AMD is not Oracle's biggest customer. Oracle has massive amounts of NVIDIA GPUs. So with this weekly video, I want to also control the delusions that certain AMD investors might have because they heard it from another FinTuber, from another FinTwitter that just shares a lot of fake news. Oracle's success can definitely benefit AMD, but don't go in thinking that AMD is Oracle's primary partner. NVIDIA is Oracle's primary partner, but Oracle does buy from AMD. Now, another partner from AMD is Microsoft, and Microsoft just recently announced some massive AI data center investments. And AI data center news. They talk about Norway, where they're building massive data centers. They talk about UK, where they're spending about $30 billion. And they talk here in the United States, where Wisconsin, where they're building massive data centers. Now, this massive data center that they just announced in Wisconsin, Fairwater, is run by NVIDIA chips. Regardless, though, they are doing updates and upgrades to have an extra $4 billion invested in Fairwater and these other ones as well. This can show Meta is a partner of AMD. So the potential of getting some money, again, it's about controlling and understanding how much money you can get. Most of these, like it or not, are going to be NVIDIA data centers, but you can have some parts created by AMD's GPU. And for AMD, just selling a few extra billions here or there could be a massive, massive growth rate. And that's, I think, the biggest opportunity for AMD. So regardless, I think both Oracle and Microsoft news, well, NVIDIA is the biggest winner out of there. Both Oracle and NVIDIA and Microsoft are partners of AMD. So we could see some distribution going into AMD's pocket as well. So I think that's all I have here for actually I have one more news. So we also saw that China is reportedly banning NVIDIA chips. And many people think that this is bullish for AMD. I think the market just uses NVIDIA because it is the top player. But the real news was China bans kind of US chip companies from its tech products, or is trying to ban. We still don't have a real answer. There's no one that says, look, this is true or not. We will have to see throughout the upcoming quarters. But usually if China is talking about NVIDIA, it's not just plainly NVIDIA, it's about any US-based company. So just because NVIDIA is reportedly banned doesn't mean it's necessarily good for AMD, because it's more of a political and geopolitical tensions that are happening, where NVIDIA's loss will also be AMD's loss. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.